My job today was to give a pitch, and I just tossed out a whole page because there is no better pitch for the Mary Parrish Center than the hearts of the people that work at the center, than Valerie, and certainly than the people who we are so blessed to have the opportunity to serve. I will tell you, though, that it's impossible, even though I tossed away a page, it's impossible to put a mic in front of me without expecting me to say something. As you have heard, the Mary Parrish Center does play a critical role in this community. Ann is right. When Ann talked about this being a generous community, it is. When Ann referred to other agencies, there are a number of agencies that deal with domestic violence. Unfortunately, there are not enough. Unfortunately, too many people affected by violence are left without help or support because there are too few agencies doing this important work. Nashville is different than other communities I've lived in. In other communities, particularly larger cities, you have large umbrellas of organizations that do the yeoman's work of social service. In fact, in some cities, 2 or 3 agencies can do 80–90% of what's needed to be done for those who most need it. In a city like Nashville, the majority of that work is done by small nonprofits, all supported by the generosity of local citizens. Yes, our agency is an example of the generosity of our mayor and our city council. Yes, we do receive grants. Yes, we do get support both from the federal government and locally from foundations. But the truth is, we would have had to close our doors, even with all this help, if it wasn't for the generosity of individuals like those of you sitting here. And we're not unlike other agencies, and we compete for you. And having you in this room is a chance for us to move Mary Parrish up on your list, because I know all of you support lots of causes. Why give to Mary Parrish? Number one, we're a great investment. Virtually every dollar you give to us goes right to serving people. Our overhead is minimal compared to other agencies, and our work is in the field. It's direct service. What I'm most proud of is the courage of Valerie Wynn and her husband Mark Wynn, who founded the agency, Judge, Annette, Laura. These are people who, for very little in return, work long hours and long weeks for people who could not survive without them. They started wanting to deal with domestic violence as an umbrella issue. Vale's dream actually came true. She created an agency under one umbrella which was like one-stop shopping. My wife should only find one-stop shopping. You could walk in the door of Mary Parrish and get virtually every service you needed. Every service. From hugs and kisses, to encouragement and counseling, to clothing and food, to orders of protection and legal assistance. There's nothing that Mary Parrish would do. They would drive you places. They would pick you up. They would fight with you not to return to your abuser. The one thing that was in Valerie and Mark's vision was that the one piece that we did not have was a residential program. Other agencies in town provided that, but there were too many that came for services only to return to their abuser because they had nowhere else to live. So when Val came to us and said, let's look at this facility, we went over there. It was dread awful. I'm sorry to say this. It was, I just can't imagine. We just walked away saying, Val, do you think you can do this? She said, no choice, we've got to do this. So in addition to the umbrella services, really took a risk at acquiring these 14 units. And it was like, what's that show on Sunday nights where they go into homes and redo them? That is exactly what it was like. It was taking a place that was disheveled, that was in awful condition, and virtually overnight turning it into a beautiful, beautiful home. I couldn't be more proud of what our staff did. And while they converted this facility into these beautiful residences, while they did that, they never stopped delivering that umbrella of service. So why give to the Mary Parrish Center? One, we're doing work that's critical in this community that doesn't begin to touch the need. Number two, it's a good investment of dollars because we will use your support wisely in direct service. And number three, give because we have no choice. It's what we're supposed to do. One of the other things I wanted to do this morning was to thank just a few people. And if you don't mind, we rarely get to applaud others for their unselfish contributions, but I would like to share a few, share a little applause. First of all, I'd like to thank a very dear friend, Ted Anderson. Is Ted here? I don't know if Ted is here. So typical of Ted. Ted is our, you know what? Ted bought us breakfast, guys. Ted, for the second year in a row. Ted is a physician in town who was served on our board and currently serves in our advisory. Ted has given us the luxury of knowing that everything you write today, everything you give today, goes 100% to Mary Parrish. There are no other costs. So thank you, Ted. Also, have to applaud our staff. I think I did. Did I already do that? I did it, but I'll do it again. The elderly one. If you haven't met her, but beware, she is contagious. She will hook you. So if you are really not, I'm going to talk about that just in my closing statement. But Judd, who was taking his first vacation in years, 5 years, the first vacation this man has had. Judd is our foundation of our agency, along with Val. Judd is on in this little excursion of his. Jeanette is here, as is Laura. Where are they? They're both just dear loves. Also want to thank this hotel. I mean, all of you know that this is a special hotel in this city. I always refer to Lowe's as being the hotel with the heart. Virtually every nonprofit comes to this hotel, to Tom Mabry, who makes everyone feel like they're his closest of friends. And no one can be treated any nicer, graciously, or fairly, or generously than this hotel. So and not only for what this hotel does, but for your personal generosity, I'd like to thank Lowe's and Tom Mabry. Head of hospitality for is it the right title? Oh, whatever, close. Ken is a delight. We thank Ken as well. I'm going to ask two ladies to stand up. They're going to be mad at me later. Pam Gaines, where are you? Could you please stand? Pam. Kathy Rosenblum, where are you? Valerie referred to people being here for 9 years, is it? Well, that's who she was talking about, these two ladies. They've been here from the beginning. They're also co-chairs of this morning's breakfast. And I can only tell you how much work, you all know how much work goes in even to a morning affair like this. Tremendous work. Thank you both.